Hey everybody, HMV here. And more Kerbal Space Program, and we are on our way to Jool. I have decided to forego any gravity assists from Tylo or Lathe or whatever, and there goes Jool swinging by, and go directly to Pole. And we have got the fuel, we might as well use it. We'll drill for more when we get there, and then we might do Pole and Bop, and consider possibly doing Vol. But I think I would rather send the Tylo lander to Vol, because I know for a fact that that'll be able to land. Granted, Vol is only 860 meters per second to land on, if I'm reading my Delta V chart correctly here, and 860 compared to Elu, which is 620. Yeah, see, it's higher than everything else, and I don't know if it'll work or not. So I think I'm gonna send the Tylo lander there. So we'll do Pull and Bop today, and then meet up with the Tylo lander, and we'll see how much time I have to go. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Well, how much time do we got left here? We've got a couple hundred days, so I think I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee here. And let you know what's going to happen in the future. New Horizons is still being updated, but there are rumors that it might actually be ready soon, which would be cool. Harvester is leaving Kerbal Space Program, which is crazy considering it's his game. I'm a little bit terrified about what's going to happen with the game in the future, but I'm also hopeful that maybe I know he was one of the big proponents of the Wonders of the Universe thing and no Delta V and stuff like that. So maybe we'll finally see a Delta V calculator in the game itself. But yeah, or maybe it'll go the way of Minecraft and I'll just stop playing it. But I really doubt that because I love this game so much. What else? I'm starting to work on a Jool 5 mission. I kind of wanted to do another one. The one I did way back before was before the atmosphere changes. And I also put some weird restrictions on myself that I don't think I'm going to do now. So I've built a Jool 5 ship that ideally can get to Jool and back and hit all the moons. Let's call this the alarm on pause. We've got this maneuver to nail. Let's go ahead and aim at it. But yeah, I've got the ship all built, and I'm running it through its paces now. And so if New Horizons isn't back, I'm probably just going to start the Jool 5 mission when it comes. And I've got 2 viewers. Hi, viewers. We're finishing off a grand tour today. Well, probably not finishing it off, but we're putting some work into finishing a grand tour today. We are coming into Jool with our ISRU ship, and ideally we are going to get a pole encounter here that will let us fill up the tanks and head to Bop, and then head also to Lathe, where I've got a plane in orbit waiting to go. Now, somebody who was watching me on YouTube gave me a cool trick, and I just screwed it up. Let's go ahead and RCS our way back. There we go. That should be pretty darn good. That's as close as I can really expect to go, because we're assuming here that I'm going to do this burn. So let's go ahead and delete this maneuver node and see how much it screws up everything. Looks like it screws up everything. Let's go ahead and delete this maneuver node. And apparently it deleted all the maneuver nodes ever. So let's start over, shall we? Let's go here. Get ourselves into this orbit here. I should probably have chat up so I can see if anybody's commenting. Hey, Kenyor. Kenny0R, how you doing? Okay, let's see. That's Bop Pole. Let's cycle the target on that because the game doesn't like to show me anything. Looks like we don't have a perfect little encounter here. Oh, that's right. I have to do this so I can see my... Oh my god, I hate this game sometimes. Yeah, see, there's got to be a bug. That has to be a bug. There's no chance that that is not a bug. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, now we've got our encounter here. We might as well bring it down to there. probably do one more. We don't want to waste fuel getting to Bob. There we go. That'll be the encounter right there. And I'll probably do it on this now. Something along those lines. We'll deal with that. Okay, aim at that. And we are 2 years away, so this is going to be a long run here. You were waiting on my Twitch channel for days to see me streaming. That's awesome. Thank you for waiting. Sorry about that. I was going to try to record on Sunday night, but it was in the U.S. here. It was a holiday weekend, and it was absolutely beautiful out. And I have a friend who is moving, so I helped her. I helped her pack up a whole bunch of stuff, and when Sunday came around, I also do a podcast, pulpaudio.com, if you want to check that out, and we record on Sundays. So I got home, recorded that podcast, and fell into bed and passed out. And when I woke up, I was not in any shape to do any podcasting because I drink during the show, so I was tired and a little bit worn out. So yeah, but I'm here now, so yay. I hate time warps. I could install that mod that gives you faster time warps, but I've had no end of problems with the extra time warps. Either it bugs out in general, or it causes issues with Kerbal Alarm Clock because you're time warping faster than Kerbal Alarm Clock thinks you are, so it doesn't slow you down fast enough. So I have found it's better to just make sure you're at maximum time warp and let it go. Sorry about the air conditioner in the background. It's really hot here, and I'm not going to turn it off to record. Not only is it hot, but I'm drinking coffee, so what are you going to do? At least we can watch the ship coming now. You can actually see it crossing the screen. So, Kenny, what do you think about... what do you think about Harvester leaving Squad, or at least leaving Kerbal Space Program? He hasn't actually said that he's technically leaving Squad, but I don't know what he would be doing there if he's not doing Kerbal Space Program. And hello, other viewer. Yeah, I have 3 people watching me now. I'm Mr. Big Stuff. Who do I think I am? Another mod that's kind of on my radar right now is the guy who does the Outer Planets mod just announced, I think today, that he's going to be doing an Inner Planets mod. And he's redoing all the planets, making them prettier, utilizing, I think, the fact that 64-bit is... you're DRing? You're dring? I drink. Oh, you drink while I talk. But no, the Inner Planets mod looks really cool. It's a revamp basically of the Inner Planets to change their craters and everything. There's a couple other mods out there that do the same thing. Stock Planets Remastered, I think, is another one that I was thinking about. I was thinking about trying next time I do a real. A stock solar system mission. Like, sadly, I found out about it after this Grand Tour, but I kind of wanted my Grand Tour to be pure, anyway. So I don't want any actual changes to the bodies. And the stock system revamped is actually changes the system, whereas the Inner Planets mod looks like it's not going to actually change the planets themselves, just change their surface features, which frankly they could use it. Okay, we are finally here. And then when Kerbal Alarm Clock decides to slow me down enough, and we cross the boundary, we are in year 73, by the way, of our Grand Tour, which we started not quite on day 0, but very close. About 2/3 of that time was the transfer to Elu. This is a 113-second burn, although the timing on it isn't that critical this far out. I am going to slow down when we get about a day away and let the maneuver node, let the ship aim at the maneuver node. So that we can start the burn basically right away. And where is Kerbal Alarm Clock? There you are. Oh, it did not place a maneuver node alarm. I'm glad I slowed down. I forgot I turned that off. I'll tell you what, I bet I've only got 20 seconds. 20 seconds is plenty of time to turn on a maneuver node alarm. I also apparently need to update. Maneuver node alarms, detect them, and add burn time, half burn. And okay. And we got 5 whole seconds. That only took me 15 seconds to do. Oh, now it tells me the, the alarm. And we are burning. Kenny is not much in the KSP scene. I just like to see you or Manly. Wow, putting me in the same boat as Manly. That's that's very ego stroking there. Thank you. Cool ships. I never managed to go farther than Minmus. A lot of people haven't. Oh, your Twitch just died? Huh? I didn't get the alert that said the Twitch died. And I can still see the stream on me. I think it's you. Yeah, according to a poll on the, or not a poll, but a topic on the KSP forums, apparently the majority of users on Steam haven't made it farther than Midmas, haven't left Kerbin's sphere of influence, which isn't really surprising considering a lot of people get a game on Steam and then they never even load it. So you figure, you know, active users might not even be half of the people who own it on Steam. I know I haven't played half the games I own on Steam. But those I have played, I tend to play a lot. Like, for example, Kerbal Space Program. Although it's funny, on Steam I only have played Kerbal Space Program for like 2 hours because I never actually play it through Steam. I just copy everything out of the Steam folder into another folder so I can mod it and always have a fresh install on Steam. Okay, I'm going to switch to aim and retrograde. Going to get this guy closer to the spot. And then I'm going to delete this maneuver node when the time comes here. Got my finger on X. I think that's good right there. Now we're going to just burn here. I'm going to burn up a little bit, get closer, and let's focus. Oh, we are focused on pole already. Let's actually get all the way in and then watch this. And there's a trick somebody taught me. If you hold down Control, somebody on my YouTube channel commented, if you hold down Control and then just tap Shift, the game automatically overrides Control with Shift. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm going to get any closer than that. So I think we're just going to accept that as the way it's going to be. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's do -500. Nope, that's too much or too little. There we go. 520. I've got 13. What is it, 1134 in the tank, so I'll have 600 left when we get to pole. To oh, there we go. When we get to pole, we'll have plenty to land. Hey, Run DVI, how's it going? Good evening. Good afternoon, really. It's only 4 o'clock here. Yeah, Kenny, you're an MMO player. I never got into MMOs. I don't understand the draw. I don't. I understand a lot of people don't even understand the draw of Kerbal Space Program or FTL or Darkest Dungeon or anything like that. But I do not understand the draw of an MMO. Okay, we've got a 70-second burn. So we can go right down to the alarm. Even though I put the half node marker alarm on there, although it seems to have done it now. Well, no, because it's exactly 1 minute. It just does exactly 1 minute. I don't know if that's a bug in kernel alarm clock. It might be that update that I haven't installed yet would fix that. But like I've never had that work for me. I don't know if anybody else who uses Kerbal Alarm Clock and the maneuver node alarm thing even knows what I'm talking about. Oh, you guys are in Germany and Sweden. I guess it is evening for both of you. And thank you guys for using military time. I live on military time, and nobody I know understands what I mean when I when they look at my digital clocks. They're like, "It's 14 o'clock. What the heck is that?" A little concerned with how this has barely moved, and we only have 100 meters per second left on our burn, but I'm going to trust the game. It is moving now, so. I agree, RunDVI, especially when, like me, I work third shift. So it's crazy difficult to tell what's oh, all my fuel tanks are empty. Okay, let's actually see if we can just do this scan here because we are in a pretty polar of an orbit. Polar orbit between 25 and 220. We are too high. So let's burn our periapsis down to 220. There we go. Yeah, I think we're polar enough. And then here, we'll snap this to our periapsis and burn down. So our apoapsis, our periapsis becomes our apoapsis, and then we'll know that the orbit is switched. Let's go ahead and aim at that. Yeah, a lot of things are standard in Europe that aren't in the US, and they annoy me, like the metric system. Yes, I assumed that, Kenny, that 2213 is not just always the right time in Germany. Okay. Now we're in the right orbit. We've still got 600 meters per second. Let's go ahead and do this scan here. And looks like we got lots of places to land. I think we're not even gonna disconnect the stuff from the ship. There's really no reason to. We've got 600 meters per second. We might as well just keep everything together. If we were right now, actually no, I want to do it on the other side so that we're landing kind of in the day side of the Terminator. It will be back. We come down like yeah. Turn trajectories on to see where we're actually going to be landing. Oh, body fixed mode is on. Does BOP not rotate? guess Bop doesn't rotate. It just, that seems weird. But oh well. I guess we'll see how that works. Let's actually look at it. Nope, it's rotating. Just trajectories is for some reason not showing me the whole thing, which is a little disturbing, but this is the kind of planet you want this to happen on because we have so much leeway. Yeah, TMS. Hi, how's it going? Felipe has abandoned ship. I don't know if I would call it abandoning ship, but yeah, I'm getting Minecraft vibes. Like when Notch left Minecraft. Let's say I'm concerned. I have concerns, and I'm hoping they are unfounded. That's where I stand on the whole Philippe thing with everything. That all said, the man is responsible for what I consider the best game I've ever played. And if he wants to make another game that could possibly also be the best game I've ever played, go for it, man. Yeah, see, it's telling me I'm going to land here, but that is a big lie. Unless I just happen to have some perfect orbit change, but that can't be right. Yeah, see, it's telling me I'm going to land here. I've got fixed body mode on. So I just have to accept the fact that I don't know where I'm coming from. Let's go ahead and go into maneuver node here. As we get closer, I'll be able to tell. And we've got 500 meters per second, and it's pole, so I'm not what you would call concerned about fuel here. Run DVI, I am doing both. I am landing here both to land here and to refuel, and then we're heading over to Bop, and then we're heading to Lathe to attach with the stuff that I sent here. And I should probably hit F5 as I'm coming down almost to my death. And we do have a pretty good spot to land. So I guess we're just going to go for it. We'll just land here and see what it looks like. It's a 13-second burn to stop. So we're not exactly hurting as far as that's concerned. We've got to get up on top of that ridge, though. But yeah, Run DVI. This is the end. This is the last planet I need to go to. I've been everywhere. Should probably close this before I forget about it. This is I've got 5 more things to land on, and this is one of them. Kenny, I have tried Space Engineers. I tried a demo back when it was in early access, and I think it was actually Space Engineers that convinced me that Minecraft has ruined me for all other building type games. Why did this turn off? There we go. I don't think I'm ever gonna want to play another game like that again, because I just played too much Minecraft. I'm just going to delete this. We don't need it. I think I'm going to try to cross this ridge. Yeah, if I cross this ridge right here and land in this little bowl here, I think that's going to be the best area. We're going to be pretty tight on fuel, but it's pole, I'm sorry. So, no bigs. Okay, time warp off. Actually, it was off. Let's go into retrograde mode and hit the gas. TMS has exactly 26 minutes in Space Engineers. Oops, I went too far. Same retrograde again. Didn't go that far, though. One thing the ship doesn't have is massive reaction wheels. Okay, we want to turn this way, so we're going up this slope with our one landing gear that I managed to blow up on Duna. Yes, a lot of time has passed in Space Engineers, and it's not necessarily Space Engineers. It's games where the primary focus is just building stuff. Normally I would try to avoid ground scatter just for a roleplay perspective, but I'm low enough on fuel that I don't want to here. Hit that kind of hard, but oh well. Let's come to a stop. We're going to slide down this hill all day long. But as I found out on Ike, you can drill while you're on a hill. Actually, let's check our analysis here. 3%. Could be better. Let's crank up the percentages here. 10, 20, 30, 40. Looks like, yeah, there's nothing over 50% anywhere on the planet, and we're here. So we're not on the best spot ever, but we're doing a lot better than we could. And it looks like, oh no, we haven't stopped. So let's go ahead and start drilling. And start converted. Get all of our things open. Using my favorite mod, all y'all. Yeah, I would agree with that. Minecraft is like Lego, but Space Engineers is like Technic. But yeah, it's like if you play Lego for 3 years straight without doing anything else, and then somebody shows up at your house with a bunch of Technic, you're like, eh. It's like, I'd rather do something else right now. And for me, that something else has been for a long time. Kerbal Space Program. It was also FTL, obviously, for a very long time, and it was Darkest Dungeon for about 6 months there. But now, is the game going to let me? Yes, it let me time warp. Sweet. No, you don't mine the fuel directly. I'm mining the stuff turns into ore, and it goes into these tanks here. And then this processor is converting it into fuel, and it's going into all the tanks that are here, all y'all the tanks. Yeah, Pole doesn't. There we go. Now we're full. Pole doesn't. Rotate very fast, because even at 10,000 times time warp, it was we were only getting a few days here. Let's go ahead and stop this. Actually, we could have just retracted it. I always forget that. Retract the drill. It feels right to stop it first. Oh, no problem. Yeah, you need the requirements for ISRU. The bare minimum requirements are a drill, a ore tank, a converter, and a fuel tank. Once you have those, you can do it. Radiators are really good. I probably should have showed it if I had known that you hadn't done it. The core temp here, if it's anything other than 500, you don't get 100% efficiency. Once it gets to 500, if you don't have radiators, it'll go above 500 and you'll get less efficiency. So you got to put enough radiators on to keep it, to be able to bleed off that heat from 500 on. Let's go ahead and get this guy back into orbit here. Probably retract all of these things. just in case I screw something up. Don't have any real particular desire to get a super equatorial orbit or anything. Also, being on pole as we are, don't even necessarily need to be in an orbit. I could have probably just taken off the way I wanted to, however I wanted to. But I'm going to get up to about a, let's make it 100 so I can time warp decently. We're not going to get much O-berth from pole, so getting up into a super high orbit is perfectly a reasonable idea. I got a 4 times time warp up to 5 kilometers. Run DVI. Oh, you have played Kerbal Space Program, but instead of actually playing, you just watch me. That is both endearing and sad a bit for me. I don't understand how you could not want to just play this game forever. A friend of mine said this, and I completely agree with him, that Kerbal Space Program is as if somebody went into my brain and used the information in my brain to code the perfect game for me. Like, not in general, just the perfect game for me to play. That game would be Kerbal Space Program. It is amazing how much I love this game. The only problem is I'm almost to the point where I feel like I've done everything. Okay, let's aim at our maneuver node. Let's get ourselves up into an orbit, and then we'll figure out how we're going to get to BOP. Oops. I hit the wrong button. I was going to time warp fast and then slow, but I hit the slow and then map mode button because I was off by 1 on my keyboard. Okay, this is fine. We're just going to burn up here. Both are over 100. Good enough for me. Okay. Where is my friend BOP? It's in the exact worst spot to be. We're also nowhere near the ascending node. So let's go ahead. Let's focus on Jool. Or not focus on Jool. There we go. Let's get these guys so that their orbits are crossing each other. Right about here. Okay, so when my ship is here, that's when we want to leave. Whoa, okay, here we go. So what we want to do now is, actually we could just do it now. Yeah, I'm gonna aim prograde and just go. And then we are gonna get a, whoa, now trajectories is working. Let's just turn it off though, because we don't actually want it right now. I'm gonna burn down so that our periapsis is attached right here at the descending node. And then we should get a nice encounter here. There we go. And then next orbit, let's go back into time warp so we don't. We'll do this, and it looks like we might want to go 1 more orbit. That gets us really close. And if we speed up just a little bit here, we'll get an encounter, and then we can tweak that when the time comes. There goes pole. And I just realized now I never got out and planted a flag. But that wasn't actually a goal for the mission. The goal is to land that pod on everything, so I'm not going to go back. Yeah, Run DVI. Kerbal Space Program has a massively high learning curve. That's one of the things I love about it. I have been playing this game for over 3 years, or actually not over. I think it'll be 3 years next month, and I am still learning tricks and things like that. And I started this thing with a pretty solid background in, not in rocketry, but in like orbital mechanics and stuff. I understood all the concepts of orbital mechanics going into this, and I have still learned so much about how to get around in a solar system. It's amazing. And those things I don't know, I now know that I don't know them, whereas before I thought I did know them. Oh, it's an orbit away. I was like, why isn't it slowing down? Kenny, on Sunday you managed to get into orbit, and then you flew over Minmus, but with no mods. Oh, that's... Oh, you didn't see the suicide burn time. Yeah. Yeah, suicide burns. Watch my Duna episode. You'll see how hard it is to plan a suicide burn, even with a mod helping you. Although that was a lot because I trying to drink my coffee and play the game at the same time. That was a lot because I was dealing with the atmosphere and an upslope, but I still crashed a lot. And even when I didn't crash, I blew up my landing gear. Okay, this doesn't need to be exact, even remotely. Just going to burn this down. Okay, we're going to do the trick here. Focus on Bop, see what this looks like. Another garbage. I fail at this game. Okay, let's... I'm hitting N here to make up for the fact that I screwed up. N is slowing me down in my orbit to make up for the speeding up in my orbit that I did earlier. There it is. Whoop. I don't know exactly how I screwed that up, but I managed to. Probably because I'm me. Okay, now we're going to add a maneuver here. This is not very efficient, but we don't need to be efficient. When you have ISRU, you don't need to be efficient. And we don't even need to ISRU here. We've got plenty of fuel to do this and get to lathe. So we're just going to come down like this. Yeah, orbital mechanics is one of those things that is totally contradictory to what you think. If you wanna go faster, you have to slow down. If you wanna go east, you have to burn down in order to go east relative to your target. If you want to go west, you have to burn up. It's just it doesn't work in our brains because our brains were made, they evolved to survive on the savannah. Not to fly around in a solar system. Yeah, Kenny. I am a big proponent of using mods to overcome some of the difficulties in the game. The game's difficult enough. I don't think you need to add extra difficulty for. Oops. I'm getting a text message here. Hold on, please, 1 second. I might need to pause for a second, depending on what happens here with the next text message I get. But I can at least get into orbit. It's an 80-second burn. I'm going to finish this burn, and then I'm going to go off stream for a little bit to make a quick phone call here. Let's go ahead and close this alarm. Yeah, I'm just going to burn now. A series about colonization. Was it on YouTube or something? I'd be curious about that, Kenny. I always like watching good YouTube videos of Kerbal Space Program. Sometimes I feel like I've accrued all the good streamers, and there's nothing else left out there to watch. Yeah, that's what I mean, Kenny. Mods that help you play, not that make it harder to play. Mods that make it harder to play are awesome. Once you're ready for them, but mods like Kerbal Engineer, NavHUD, which is one of my favorite mods ever, even the Gravity Turn mod, MechJeb, things like that. Especially if you're not just using them as a crutch, but you're using them to help you analyze what's going on. I think they're fantastic. The big problem is when you add too many mods and then something goes wrong, you don't always know if it's the mod or the game or your understanding that's to fault. It's bad enough when it's just you're trying to figure out if it's you or the game. If you're trying to figure out between you, the game, or any number of mods, that can get pretty bad. Anyway, I'm going to stop the stream right here. I will be back. I don't know when, but it'll probably be just a few minutes. So if you just keep the thing open, and I will be back very soon.